A pleasant good afternoon and welcome to the 20th Inaugural Meeting of the Paix Bouche, Belle Maniere, Dodan Village Council. Today, you are about to witness 8 of your community residents taking their oath of office as they begin their journey of a 3-year term of service to the community. 5 of whom were elected at the polls when you turned out in large numbers as you exercised your democratic rights and voted for the candidates of your choice. 3 were nominated by the Honorable Minister for Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development to complete the team of 8. I want to first congratulate these 6 women and 2 men for taking up this mammoth responsibility to lead your community for the next 3 years. Councillors, you have been charged with the good governance of your community. This means that you must be accountable and transparent in managing state and community resources. Also ensure that the council's office runs efficiently and that the community is involved in all aspects of your planning. By now, you should be aware that leading this community is not going to be an easy task. I urge you to be open to advice and new learnings as you aim to bring back the prestige in this cultural community. A community that the great cultural icons like Mr. Lawrence Brumant and Belle Queen, Robelyn Walters, and past councillors like Mr. Michel George and Thaddeus Farrell would be proud of. Avoid discrimination of any form and abstain from actions that can put the council into disrepute. Remember that you are here to serve all residents and not a selective few. During your term in office, I urge you to find innovative ways of inspiring and motivating residents to work with you as a team, as you strive to improve the social and economic well-being of your people. Residents of Paix Bouche and Dodan, I need you to support your council, and I commend you if you already have been doing this. But those of you who have not started, I urge you to do so. Remember that your efforts should go into positivity and not staying on the sidelines and encourage negativity. I wish you, the council, and the community all the best as you strive to achieve your goals. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope each of you, especially our visitors, have an enjoyable time with us here today in the scenic and cultural community of Paix Bouche. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite the Justice of the Peace, Mrs. Marie-Thérèse Farrell, to administer the oath. And I would also like to invite the Honorable Alexis George, Minister of State in the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community, to present the credentials.
I, Nathalie Farrell-Durand, do swear that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of a member of the Village Council of Paix Bouche, Belle Maniere, Mopac, Dodan Providence. So help me God. Sign here for me, please. Angelica Elisier Pierre-Louis. Okay. Tap your right hand. I, Angelica Elisier Pierre-Louis, do affirm
do affirm
that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of a member
of a member
of the Village Council
of the Village Council
of Paix Bouche,
of Paix Bouche,
Belle Maniere,
Belle Maniere,
Mopac,
Mopac,
Dodan,
Dodan,
Providence.
Providence.
I do affirm.
I do affirm.
Sign here for me, please.
Thank you. That's it?
Yes.
You have to pass it back.
There. Go to him. Alexis George. Okay. You're right. Up. I, Alexis George,
I, Alexis George,
do affirm
do affirm
that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of a member of the Village Council
of a member of the Village Council
of Paix Bouche,
of Paix Bouche,
Belle Maniere,
Belle Maniere,
Mopac,
Mopac,
Dodan,
Dodan,
Providence.
Providence.
I do affirm.
I do affirm.
Okay. Keisha Toussaint Williams. Put up your right hand. I, Keisha Toussaint Williams.
I, Kishma Toussaint Williams,
Oh, Keisha, sorry. Do affirm
do affirm
that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of a member
discharge
the
the
duties
duties of the member
of the Village
of
Council
the Village Council
of Paix Bouche,
of Paix Bouche,
Belle Maniere,
Belle Maniere,
Mopac,
Mopac,
Dodan,
Dodan,
Providence.
Providence.
I do affirm.
I do affirm.
Sign here for me, please. Andela Toussaint. Okay, put up your right hand and say after me. I, Andela Toussaint,
I, Andela Toussaint,
do affirm
do affirm
that I will
that I will
well and faithfully
well and faithfully
discharge
discharge
the duties of a member
the duties of a member
of the Village Council
of the Village Council
of Paix Bouche,
of Paix Bouche,
Belle Maniere,
Belle Maniere,
Mopac,
Mopac,
Dodan,
Dodan,
Providence.
Providence.
I do affirm.
I do affirm.
Sign here for me, please. Thank you. Go to him. Clesia Charles. I, Clesia Charles,
I, Clesia Charles,
do affirm
do affirm
that I will
that I will
well and faithfully
well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of a member of the Village Council
of a member of a Village Council
of Paix Bouche,
of Paix Bouche,
Belle Maniere,
Belle Maniere,
Mopac,
Mopac,
Dodan,
Dodan,
Providence.
Providence.
I do affirm.
I do affirm.
Sign here for me, please. Joshua Benjamin Remy. Put up your right hand. I, Joshua Benjamin Remy,
I, Joshua Benjamin Remy,
do affirm that
do affirm that
I will well and faithfully
I would well and faithfully
discharge the duties of a member of the Village Council
of a member of the Village Council
of Paix Bouche,
Paix Bouche,
Mopac,
Mopac,
Belle Maniere,
Belle Maniere,
Doudan, Providence.
Providence.
I do affirm.
I do affirm.
Sign here for me, please. Thank you. Fallon Walter. I, Fallon Walter, do affirm that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of a member of the Village Council of Paix Bouche, Belle Maniere, Mopac, Doudan, Providence. I do affirm. Thank you.
At this time, please permit me a brief moment while I confirm your chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure in presenting to you the new chairman of the Paix Bouche Doudan Village Council, Mr. Alexis George. Thank you, Mr. George. So Mr. George will lead this council for the next 3 years. During the last term of council's office, we had a gentleman who is Mr. Bryson Williams. I invite him to address you at this time.
On the 8th of January 2020, 5 members were elected and 3 nominated to form the body of the Paix Bouche Doudan Village Council. Just entering into the office, here came COVID, of course, and which slowed down a lot of activities that was supposed to be undertaken by the Paix Bouche Village Council at that time. But regardless, the community of Paix Bouche, we still stand still and we continued our mission. So please permit me to mention some of the achievements at the council for the past 3 years. The removal of derelict vehicles, which had always been an eyesore in Providence, Mopac, Paix Bouche. I say thanks to Solid Waste and Corporation for assisting us with that. Also, we engaged in a massive white goods collection in collaboration with the Environmental Health and the past parliamentary representative, Honorable Rosalind Paul, Solid Waste Corporation, and of course, the NEP beautification team. This activity increased a need to clear up the dump on sites which needed to be condemned as well. And I will say, in Doudan, I would like to commend the Portsmouth City Council, Kurt Langley, and of course the local government for providing us with transportation to clear all the dump sites in Doudan at that time. Repairs done on the Doudan and the Providence Public Convenience for the Ministry of Community Development. Assistance was also given of construction of a bus shelter in Teplat as well. The council continued to facilitate payments to the National Employment Program, public assistance, and age pension. The primary school continued to get sponsorship from the council in the graduation ceremonies. The council also identified street lamps for various areas in Paix Bouche and Doudan, and they also identified vulnerable areas, drains, culverts, etc. in our community. Accommodation of installation of a radio communication system by the Office of the Disaster Management, it's ODM, at the Resource Center. Also, we received solar panels installation by DALCA, and I must commend Mr. Yolan John Jones, is he here? Oh yes, for selecting Paix Bouche, for DALCA, so that we could have our solar panels installed on our resource center in Paix Bouche. Thank you for that, Mr. John Jones. Continued negotiation and approval for the extension of the public cemetery, and this was done with the effort of our past parliamentary representative, Honorable Rosalind Paul. Another project we undertake in Paix Bouche was the continuation of the Zolivier drain. That's a drain that starts from behind the house of Eric George, that goes straight to the Wavin in by the resource center. So I must commend Mr. Gervin Honoré for assisting us with his excavator to undertake such project. Had it not been for Gervin, it would be a task. So I want to say thank you to Gervin Honoré for coming on board. Also, the construction of the Belle Maniere wall project by the contractor, Mr. Leonard Paul. The resurfacing of the asphalt done in some areas needing repairs on the Belle Maniere Road. Also, reconstruction of the entrance of the Trigain Road in Dodan, and as well, some assistance was given to construct a much-needed driveway to the area near a home of an individual. And I know if most of you would go to Trigain, you would see a road leading to an individual house, so that they could have proper access with a vehicle. That, of course, the Paix Bouche Village Council, we assisted in that to get this road done. We have the Wavin Road Rehabilitation. That's the project which will improve alternative road access in the community. And for those that don't know the Wavin Road is what connects Providence to Belle Maniere by the resource center. Worked in collaboration with the parliamentary representative to get the water rehabilitation project on its way. And that is a project that was given to Paix Bouche from the BNTF program. And I must say that BNTF is is funded by the CDB and the government of Dominica. And the funding for that project has been approved, and that the project entails a 60,000 gallon water storage in the heights up there. So they're going to change that over, and so that we'll have a better flow of water, and also they're going to enhance on the access road to the intake, and installation of new pipes going to be dealt with. So I'm hoping that before the end of the year, that project should commence, because we have had meetings with them and everything is set to go. So let's hope that before the end of the year, that project will take place while the new council will be in office. Okay. Now, some of the project implemented was done voluntarily by the council, a few residents, and the NEP beautification team, which continue to give invaluable support to these activities. And I must say to the NEP team, you guys were great and always doing a good job. So please don't abuse them. Work hand in hand with them, because they are always ready and they are always willing to assist in the community. That is why when the money comes, I always make sure that they are paid on time. Am I right? Okay. The council was engaged in some fundraising activity, which included the village feast, carnival activities, domino competition, which was brought up by Mr. Alexis George, raffles, sales of drinks and food and events and market day. House rate drives and collection also done by the council, and we want to commend for those that have been paying their house rate, and for those that are not, please continue to do so, because house rate is a form of fundraising for the council, so that when they get these funds, a lot more can be done in your community. Though there were few challenges, but their significance played a major part in the performance of the council. The road was surely not a smooth one, but being sworn in right in the heat of COVID was not very easy to accept and to make necessary adjustments. Additionally, the council had to take certain decisions for the best interest of the council and community by extension. And these were some of the challenges that we were facing with the council. The lack of commitment, communication, collaboration, and services offered were also some of the challenges faced as a team, which further impacted negatively on the community. And I always believe there's room for improvement. Finally, I would like to thank those of you who placed the confidence in me and supported me as a chairman and gave the council a push sometimes. The opportunity and the experience will be a lasting memory for me. I want to wish the new council all the best and hope that we can continue working together for the development of our communities. And before I conclude, I just want to leave this line. Your goods are not often highly spoken about, but your failures will be the top on the list. So stay focused, stay alert, and continue doing your best to serve your community. So that's my word for you. So I would say thank you and have a blessed evening.
At this time, I would like to invite to the podium the new chairman of the Paix Bouche Village Council, Mr. Alexis George, to address you.
People of Paix Bouche, Dodan, for placing your trust and confidence in me. You gave me the opportunity to be part of your council. I have always been a community person, and with great pleasure and optimism, I look to continue the vision of a vibrant Paix Bouche Dodan community. I stand before you in awe of your support to have me as the chairperson of your council. I am absolutely humbled to be addressing you in that capacity today. We are all well aware of the challenges that are ahead, but it is a mandate that we as a team are willing to undertake wholeheartedly. I am a firm believer that a strong, committed, and hardworking village council will subsequently lead to a better Dominica. We want to assure the residents of Dodan that we will be a council for all. We are confident that with Honorable Wenham, things will be different. We are confident that she will play a much greater role in that hamlet than we have grown accustomed to. I really wish she was there because, I needed to just let her know that, in the past we have been through difficulties in Dodan, and Honorable McIntyre, I just wish that the government would give her that sort of support so that she in return would support us as a council. Dodan deserves much more. Dodan deserves to be lit. Don't you agree with me? Dodan deserves at least a half court. There is absolutely no sporting activity going on in Dodan. Now, are we going to blame them when they turn into drugs? What have we done? The road to Grand Riviere, where our district nurse lives, it is in a real dilapidated condition. Now imagine someone calling Nurse Paul in the middle of a rainy night, and she has to come and deliver a baby. Can you imagine the water usually reach her like almost knee height? We need to do something about that, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the community of Providence has always been on my mind. because I remember growing up as a young boy, we were playing cricket on the road, and it started to pour. Guess what? The river overflowed, and as a result, I got stuck and spent almost the entire night. The bridge was completely submerged from torrential rainfall, making it completely impassable. Ladies and gentlemen, thank God that it has not overflown while someone was sick or about to give birth to a need. Let me take that again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank God that it has not overflown while someone was sick or about to give birth and needed to get to the hospital urgently. Providence really needs an alternative route. You know that this bridge down there, when it overflows, nobody can cross Providence. Now what if one of our elderly or someone gets sick? Are we just going to call a helicopter from nowhere to come pick them up? Honorable McIntyre, again, I would like you to take this message across to your government, and thank you, we appreciate that. Put your hands together for Honorable McIntyre, please. Honorable Lakia Joseph. Honorable Lakia Joseph. You can see she's a vibrant young lady, right? We need your support. You know, we are not going to be able to make it on our own. Honorable Lakia Joseph, we are soliciting your support. And I am confident that we'll get it. Are you, ladies and gentlemen? As a sportsman, in my earlier days, although I still play a little bit of sports as you would have seen lately, one of my main missions is to revive the future and development of sports in the Paix Bouche Dodan area. We started the successful T10 Cricket League, but we have much bigger needs than that, ladies and gentlemen. The developers of Teplat, Belle Maniere, left a huge portion of land for us in Teplat. Honorable Joseph, they left us such a huge portion of land, and it is sad to see that grass is growing and cows have been tied there. It is sad to see. Honorable Joseph, my goal is that, my dream is that one day this area would become maybe the home of our young people. You know, these young people, you have no idea. We have young boys who represented Dominica in cricket. We have young boys and girls who represented the island in cricket, I should say. Presently, we have about 3 people who are in Venezuela representing the island in basketball. We have 4. Thank you. We have other young people who represented in table tennis. I want you to know that Paix Bouche is a sporting community. Paix Bouche is a sporting community, and we cannot allow our young people to fall by the wayside, ladies and gentlemen. So we need to create avenues. We need to create these avenues for these young people, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'll speak it out. Honorable McIntyre, we know that your government is doing a lot, even within these trying circumstances. But guess what? We do not want you to forget us in Paix Bouche. We want you to continue to support us going forward, because Paix Bouche has so much potential. Paix Bouche has so much potential, as you would have seen. We make things happen out of nothing. So we are going to continue that. We as a community will play our part to make things a bit easier for you, for the government, I should say, by getting involved in fundraising activities. Paix Bouche, let's tie our waist. We are going to push. All right? We are going to push. We are going to get involved in fundraising activities and voluntary services. Once upon a time, Paix Bouche was the envied community in Dominica because of community service. We want to bring back those days in our community, ladies and gentlemen. Our aim is to embrace the rich cultural heritage that those before us have bravely built. We aim to reignite and further build on the togetherness between the communities, especially Paix Bouche and Dodan. We stood together in good times. We've stood together in bad times and will continue to stand together. Again, Honorable McIntyre, let me just take a pause a bit to let you know that this man, this is my first time really meeting him, but this has been, I told that to Rosalind Paul and a number of people. This man, last year, he was my Dominican of the Year. So put your hands together for Dr. Irvin McIntyre. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying that because he's there, but maybe you could call Miss Paul. I said that because I know he championed the COVID system really, really well. Put your hands together for Dr. McIntyre. Honorable Joseph, as I end today, my hope is your team would partner with us to continue to build a vibrant, prosperous Paix Bouche community. Can you do that with us? Yes, sir. You heard that for yourself, ladies and gentlemen? She said it, right? To our residents. Excuse me? He did not hear me. Yes, sir. Okay, we appreciate that. To our residents, again, we appreciate the tremendous support you gave us with your votes. Many of you turned out to vote, but we'll certainly fail without your continued support. Help us with your vision to a clean and beautiful environment. Put your hands with us. Let's dirty your hands together. Let's dirty your feet together and do what needs to be done for our community. Donald Trump once said, "Let's make America great again." Today I am saying, let us make Paix Bouche great again. Government ministers, as I end, sorry, I did not mention Dodan, but whenever I say Paix Bouche, I mean Dodan, Paix Bouche, Providence, Mopac, Belle Maniere, Teplat. Let's make Paix Bouche, Dodan, Providence, Teplat, Belle Maniere great again. Mopac as well. And even Lawi Koko and Lawi Banan. To the government ministers, as I end, my hope is that your team would partner with us to continue to build a vibrant, prosperous Paix Bouche, Dodan community. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alexis George, for your address. I am sure the communities of Paix Bouche and Dodan are looking forward to the fulfillment of the plans of your council.
So we'll jump right across to our very own. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Honorable Lakia Joseph, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, with specific responsibility for development of community agro-enterprises, Parliamentary Representative for the Paix Bouche constituency. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
To everyone, I bid you a special welcome to Paix Bouche, and congratulations once again to our new elected chairman, Mr. Alexis George, and our council members. I applaud you for stepping up to the podium, I would say, for another term of 3 years to support and lead our village, our communities to prosperity. We have therefore again reached the junction to commemorate the beginning of another 3-year term. To the 5 elected and 3 nominated members, we have work to do, and we have work to continue to do. We have a civil responsibility to look out for each other, to care for each other, and most of all, to love each other. For the past few months, I have witnessed the rich culture and tight-knit relationship of the Paix Bouche and Dodan communities, and I have no doubt that we will continue to lead and govern these communities as we continue our Christmas tree lightings that we love so dearly, our sports days, our Creole spelling bees, King of the Mountain that we haven't had for about 5 years, I believe, And I think in this coming year or the next year and a half, we will see the King of the Mountain. And I know Falan is very passionate about the King of the Mountain because Falan said the prize is, man, the healthy. So we'll continue seeing those events, our Grand Bazaar, our Easter holiday events, our summer programs, and our outreach projects, and all the other projects and programs that certainly have to take place in this community. However, there are just a few more initiatives that I believe we will accomplish in the next 3 years and beyond. We need to have our dad and me's, dad and moms and me's. Too many times you see our fathers not involved in our children's lives, and they are wrong, they're one place, their children more park, they're just there as Paix Bouche Central, and you're not seeing them. So we need to bring our dads and moms and our children together and let everybody be supportive of each other. Our health walks, our elderly and culture days, culture nights, our basketball league that I know Mr. Alexis has been on my back about from probably since November of last year, and our cricket league as well. And he will continue, as he said. We will establish our green spaces, installation of our Paix Bouche community signs and our hamlet signage. We'll have Zumba, our summer Kickstarter at Blenheim, our village fair market day that will continue, and we'll continue to do the cleanup and beautification, especially for the elderly and vulnerable. And I want to pause at this time to say a hearty thank you to Ms. Farrell and her team, her NEP team, for a wonderful and exceptional job that they have been doing. This government will certainly continue to support the efforts and initiatives of this village council, and I, as one of the parliamentary representatives of the Joint Council, pledge my full and unwavering commitment to the advancement of these communities. Thank you once again to the outgoing and incoming councillors for your support and interest in furthering the development of the Paix Bouche and Dodan communities. Of course, a lot of work is still to be done, but we've got on our sides the government of Dominica and each other's shoulders to lean on. A lot of work will be done. So with these few words, I bid you a good afternoon, God bless you, and brighten the corner where you are.
At this moment, let us welcome the Honorable Oscar George, Minister of State in the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports, and Community Development. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Honorable Oscar George.
I first want to apologize for the absence of my good friend and colleague, Honorable Greta Roberts. And if you know Greta Roberts, she would like to be here today. Unfortunately, I think she's traveling as we speak. So she cannot be here. But I want to just wish the council well on her behalf. Of course, she would like to be here to congratulate you. However, in her absence, it's a real honor and a delight to address you on this 20th inaugural ceremony of the Paix Bouche Village Council. From the onset, I wish to extend my profound gratitude to those who served in the previous council over the last 3 years. Your sacrifice and contribution towards the development of your community is deeply appreciated, and we commend you for your efforts. I also wish to congratulate our new council for taking up the mantle to serve the community of Paix Bouche in a time when it's very critical that young people take charge of what is going on in Dominica. This government has sought to empower our village councils so that they may be better able to function and deliver on their mandate. And one of the mandates of the council is to ensure greater transparency and accountability in the execution of various projects and programs. It is the responsibility of the council to take every step in being accountable for the use of funds provided by the various ministries and outside agencies. I wish to urge the council, the People's Council, to continue to exercise prudence in the execution of your responsibilities. Government will continue to work with you, the council, in the improvement of the quality of lives for your residents. And I want to just borrow a line from our outgoing chair, because I was sitting there and when he said it, it kind of touched me. And what he said was that your goods, I'm paraphrasing, your goods may not be noticed, but one mistake you make, and that will be the headlines. And I think we need to be very careful about that practice in Dominica. Somebody will do something very well for 99 days, and the last day out of the 100, they make a mistake, and that is what that gets in the headlines. So just be mindful of that. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, one of the functions of local government is to create an effective communication channel between central government and the local community. Your close relationship with your then parliamentary representative, Honorable Rosalind Paul, who was the Minister for Local Government, is testimony of a good working relationship between central government and local government. I am elated that your council has worked closely with your beloved parliamentary representative to identify, develop, and implement a number of community projects. I say to you today that this good working relationship should also be with all the residents of the community. And the reality is that this community, there are so many wonderful people that if you give them a chance to serve on the council, they will do a good job. But we can only take 8, 5 elected, and 3 nominated. And in my discussions with the Honorable Minister Roberts, we were asking ourselves, but why 3? Why only 3? Why can't we just take 10? But that is the law, we have to take 3. And I'm saying this because Mr. Bruno comes to mind, very wonderful individual, and somebody that could serve on the council. But then we have other considerations. We want representation for Dodan. And in relation to the chairman, he articulated very well that Dodan need more representation. And that is one of the considerations we have to deal with going forward. So I'm happy that Dodan will get some emphasis this time around. The PAREP is she could not be here with us today, but she's very passionate about the development of Dodan. I am told of the gratitude of many of the residents who have benefited from the housing assistance, the small business assistance, the non-contributory pension allowance for 65 and over, and of course the National Employment Program, which invests $183,000 in the constituency every single month. I have been informed that over $1.8 million was spent in the constituency for housing following Hurricane Maria. This is a clear indication of your government's commitment to improving the quality of life of the residents of this community and ultimately building resilience at the community level. My dear residents, these initiatives by this government, working through the dynamic leadership of your new parliamentary representative in collaboration with your council, are all part of government's thrust to make things better for you, the people whom we serve. You are all aware of the articulated approach of a reset during the recent general elections. This reset requires the active involvement of all of you in the transformation of our loved Dominica. Rest assured that the government, under the progressive leadership of Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerritt, is committed to improving the quality of life of the people of Dominica, especially those that are vulnerable among us. A matter of fact, this government is the first to have provided the councils with large sums of funds for the implementation of community-based programs. You all will agree that the 8 people who form part of this council cannot do it alone. The chairman and the councillors have offered themselves to serve you, the people, so it's only fair that you work with them. I wish to call on you to work closely with your council, support the programs and activities for the benefit of all. To the councillors, especially those of you that are new to local government, I urge you to commit yourself to the task before you. It is very important that you understand the principles of teamwork, of commitment, and partnerships. Importantly, you must be willing to agree and disagree sometimes. But in the end, whatever decision you make, it must be in the best interests of the residents of the communities. I encourage you to build on what the past council have achieved and remain true to the oath that you took today. We all want to see a progressive and vibrant Paix Bouche, but to get to this, we all have to play our part in whatever way we can. We should play our part in providing guidance to the young people. We must play our part in looking out for the elderly among us. We must play our part in keeping the community clean and green. We must play our part in organizing community activities and sporting events and putting in place various committees to ensure we advance our community. Paix Bouche is ours to build, so let's play our part. In closing, let me once again congratulate you, Mr. Chairman, and your team. I wish you all the best in this term of office, and we commit from the ministry standpoint to support the initiatives and programs of the council. The Division of Local Government is readily available to work with you. May God bless all of you. May God bless Paix Bouche. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is the man of 2019, 2020, the man who led the COVID department to the best of his ability, the man who made the world proud, Honorable Dr. Irvin McIntyre, Minister for Finance, Economic Development, Climate Resilience, and Social Security, representing the Honorable Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Honorable Irvin McIntyre.
It is a privilege to share this occasion with you. I extend congratulations to those of you who have been elected after putting yourselves forward for public service to contribute to the development of your community. This is an honorable undertaking which places you in a position where you can positively impact lives and bring significant change to Paix Bouche, Belle Maniere, Mopac, Dodan, Teplat, Providence. There's also Providence in my constituency, but we don't just say Providence. So I don't know if you'll say Providence or Providence. Providence, okay, that's fine. I commend you for taking on the challenge and the awesome responsibility of leadership. I believe that the fundamental goal of council is to maintain a structure to grow and improve local infrastructure and community services. In essence, you have been elected to help make people's lives better. You are expected to serve with a high level of commitment and integrity. Above all, you must demonstrate care and love for the people who have placed confidence in you. I also wish to implore all of you, under the guidance and leadership of your chairman, to practice a culture of accountability, which will help build trust and community members, lead to more effective execution of your duties, and ultimately help you to serve people better. It means that the resources in your care must be dispensed with and used responsibly to respond to the specific needs of the constituents. Be mindful always that you are answerable to the people you serve. If you administer the affairs of the council with the core values of integrity and equality, you will build a relationship with the people which is based on trust and respect. I believe you have a responsibility to yourselves, to the government, and to your people to avoid even the appearance of impropriety. When you establish this level of trust, your goals can be aligned. There can be more communication, and you will be successful in the dispensation of your duties. The people should be able to see how you are spending their money, what services you are offering, and how you are working to improve the community. You must make decisions that serve the best interests of the community as well. This integrity and accountability that I speak of must start at the top. And so, I call on the responsible ministers to implement such monitoring and supervisory oversight to ensure that councils deliver. Where training is necessary, develop modules which clarify the roles and responsibilities of council members and ensure that they comply. As for government support, for our part, we will continue to provide the support you need to execute your functions. The necessary funding will be provided to councils to continue our various programs: housing assistance, small business support, non-contributory pension allowance, national employment program, and the cleanup and beautification initiatives. I must comment on our reset. This government has advocated a reset that seeks to review the way we approach matters of development in this country. We want to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of all public institutions to secure the well-being of our citizens. Village councils must see themselves as part of the reset. In the reset, councils must play a more active role in identifying the needs of the community and responding appropriately. Council must be more creative, more responsive, more effective, and more efficient as well. Good local governance requires an astute awareness of the community's challenges and the circumstances of the people. An effective council must have an understanding of the measures required to improve the overall quality of life of the people who reside in every part of these villages. You must know the everyday circumstances of the elderly, the bedridden, the infirm, single mothers, school-aged children, the unemployed, and the young men, those on the blocks and on their farms, and how they live and how you can help them. Effective local government leaders discern the community's needs and provide responsive and equitable services. This is the reset I am advocating. A council moving with the times, in tune with the everyday lives of those you serve. This is the approach that I hope you will take as you begin your term of office. Once again, I would like to congratulate all of you and wish you the very best. I have taken note, Mr. Chairman. You did mention about your bridge. You did mention your road to Nurse Paul, a good friend of mine. You did mention your court. You did mention your table tennis. And you did mention many other things which I've taken notes of.
Thank you.
And with us today, we have members from Communication of Works, we have members from Agriculture, we have members from Sports in all the different ministries. So your notes are, we take it and we will definitely do something with them. But coming to think of it, when I have such a shopping list as Minister of Finance, so many other questions come to mind. So, but in closing, what I want to say is that I think we all have to play our part. You know, we can't get everything at one time, but little by little, we shall get where we want to get, and we'll get what we have to get. We have an entire country to serve. We have lots of communities, lots of village councils. So little by little, we'll give, but eventually everybody will get, and eventually all shall eat. This is how we function. But your part here is that as individuals, it's your part in the reset. There are some things that the government cannot do for you. The things that the government cannot do for you as to what you eat. So in part of the reset, our fight against chronic non-communicable diseases, you have to be part of that as well. Because these diseases, they affect the productivity of the country. And that is where you can help us and play your part in trying to remain healthy and trying to avoid these non-communicable diseases. And it's all because of your diet and your behavior. The government can do its utmost best in those regards, but you are the ones who finally have to take those major roles. In terms of staying active, in terms of exercising, in terms of prioritizing what we spend on, what we don't spend on. So it would be unfortunate that we can spend for a very big music system in our car and then we don't have health insurance. So these are those decisions you have to make as an individual. The government can help, the government will advise, the government will put the service in place, but in the final decisions, you have to do those things for yourself as well. And importantly enough, I think as a community, we have to talk to each other and we have to communicate. We don't want any little factions and we don't want any little groups. We have to advise each other. We have to be open with each other. It's only by talking with each other, communicating with each other, and showing love and care that we can develop as one great community of Paix Bouche, Mopac, Belle Maniere, Dodan, Teplat, and everything else. So in all, I just wish you all the best, the new council, and feel free to engage us at central government, and we'll be most willing to assist wherever we can assist. But rest assured, we are right behind you, this new council. Thank you very much.
It has been an honor, such an honor, to be part of this 20th inaugural meeting. And on behalf of the Dodan Paix Bouche Village Council, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests and our various sponsors that made this event possible. Mr. Michael Farrell, who did our national anthem, sang it very well. Our government officials, we thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. Our District Development Officer, Ms. Phillip, we thank you for doing our welcome remarks. Our Justice of the Peace, Miss Marie Terwes Farrell, that's my preschool teacher, and she has been serving the village of Dodan and Paix Bouche for a very long time. I mean, just give her a round of applause again. Our outgoing chairman, Mr. Bryson, thank you for your remarks. And our various cultural performances done by the Paix Bouche drummers and the Paix Bouche Primary School Choir. They did a very good job, right? Excellent, excellent. And just to name some of our sponsors that sponsored financially, Honorable Rosalind Paul, Magali George, Joseph Isaac, Elizabeth George, Israel Paul, Melinda Laville, Augustina Bontiff, Anaclet Leslie, Tamara George, Laura Remy, Rudolph Thomas and Sons, Nanton Insurance, Max Farrell, M&K Bakery, and Hendrik Gabriel. Lastly, the council would also like to thank the people of Dodan and Paix Bouche. And I'd just like to apologize for, I'm from Dodan, and I'd just like to apologize on behalf of my community. We haven't taken an active role in terms of the council, but I promise this term, me along with Councillor Claysia, we plan to take much more of an active role, and you'll see much more persons, Dodan persons, involved in the council, all right? And thank you for placing your trust in us. And we ensure, with the help of God, we have the government on our side and we have a serious chairman. We will work harder to improve the community life and community development. And I thank you. God bless.